You're listening to KEMPIRE here on the KEMPIRE Radio Network.
Here we go now. Happy Tuesday Takeover. This is going to be a mini pre-recorded Tuesday Takeover. I hope you guys appreciate it. I just got a lot going on, and it's going to be like this for the next couple of weeks. But I wanted to make sure that we got a special Tuesday Takeover. And look, normally with Tuesday Takeover, we are also talking about different shows that we're watching and different reality shows that I'm watching. I am currently watching Big Brother, but I might just have to wait because Big Brother, very much like Love Island, is so many different episodes. But I am watching it. I'm not necessarily hating or loving it just yet because it's still very early. I think you get more invested as the time goes on, and then they have the live feeds and things like that. So I am watching it. Angela's back, and if you remember us talking about the season that Angela was on a couple of seasons ago, I already told you there's something just very watchable about her. She is very dramatic. Oh, I'll say this though about Big Brother. Jason, who was on Drag Race, I fell for Jason when he was all, hugged up with Angela saying, I miss my mom and blah, 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 blah. Only for him to be like, he was just playing her. But what he doesn't realize was that he brought this information to other people in the house, and they brought that information back to Angela. What in the you fool? It's one thing if you want to play Angela and then to the camera be like, oh, I'm playing her. But you brought it to other people that you don't necessarily have a full-blown situation with yet. And now they've brought that information back to Angela. And now Angela knows that you were just playing her, trying to say like, oh, I need a mom in here. I miss my mom. First of all, that's sinister to even play those types of games. So I'm not even rooting for you anymore. I actually liked him in the beginning. And now I'm just like, wow. And then Angela, of course, is going to have her breakdown. I thought you weren't going to talk about Big Brother KEMPIRE. I'm telling you what I've been watching so far, okay? I'm telling you what I've been watching so far. Has anyone been kicked off yet? Oh, wait, has anyone been going? I have to think about it. Or maybe I missed it. I may have missed this weekend's episode just because there's been so much. On Monday, we recap Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you missed it, be sure to check that out. There's so much that's been playing out when it comes to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Cynthia has her podcast, so Cynthia's reacting to the mama of it all. We have a lot to get into, but as always, you love to start Tuesday Takeover with some good news. What is your good news? What is my good news? I was outside on Friday with Brooks' live show, so it was fun. Always connecting with the community, seeing Brooks, seeing C Diggy One, seeing all of you in the real world. So that's my good news. Being in amongst community. I do think it's important to engage and be involved and be social. I know I don't seem like the most social person, but for me, it's being social late at night. I can be social during the day, but at night, just saying. Congratulations again to World Cup champions, Spain. We're very happy for them. Like I said yesterday, I was more excited watching the England versus France game because they were playing for their lives because they were playing for the third position, the bronze medal in the World Cup. And I felt like it was such an engaging game because I think that was the most goals in a World Cup game. It ended up being 6-4. That's not normal for soccer. Normal for soccer is like 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-0, that kind of thing. Now, look at me being a sportsnista. So I was really surprised at how engaged that game was. Shout out to Osaka, a part of Team England. Shout out to Jude Bellingham. I love me some Jude Bellingham. I know I've heard that he has Jamaican roots, but that's not uncommon for the English black folk. Just saying, I'm not surprised that he has Jamaican roots. So, but here's the thing with the World Cup. Can we talk? My thing with the World Cup is that a lot of these teams, I was going to say European, but it's not just the European teams. A lot of these teams from around the world, look, black people are everywhere. Part of the reason why we're everywhere is because of colonialism. It's so crazy to me. Some of these teams look very, very of their culture, very white, okay? Argentina. But if you look at the history about Argentina, then you already know why it's so white. and why you don't see a lot of people of color on that team. That's very intentional in their culture. Go Google the history. But you look at teams like England, you look at teams like what was the team I was watching a week ago? Oh my goodness, what was it? Switzerland. I was actually shocked at how brown Switzerland's team was. I was like, I wasn't shocked, but you know what I'm saying. You're always interested to see some of these European countries. They always, very much like in basketball here in America, a lot of these teams are very black and brown. But their policies, the way that they treat black and brown in their country are not the best. But if we can win you a game, here's the other thing that I noticed too, not even just in regards to the people. When you look at the people in positions, like the managers of these teams, the owners of these teams, you don't see people of color. However, people of color are part of the reason why you're winning these games. Can we have a conversation? Just saying. So for me, I was just, for the Spanish team, the brownest person was it Yamil? Is that how you pronounce his name? He was 19, the youngest to play this game and win. So, and they also had the other guy that was on the Spanish team with the dreads, another black person. Look, can we talk race? Can we talk race? I know some of you are like, racism is over, Kim Zolciak. But it's not. Look, I say all that to say congratulations to the team Spain. You guys played a hell of a game, though. That's one thing I have to give you. You were not letting up on Argentina. I wish we could have scored early. I wish we could have scored even more. I'm sorry, I should be laughing, but Messi was on that after losing. He was just looking up in the sky, crying. It's also his last World Cup. No, you can't take away from the man's skill set. The man is definitely one of the best to ever do it. But he was just sitting on that field, just looking up in the air, tears in his eyes, maybe taking it all in. And as you should. I think sometimes when you achieve success in life and you achieve all these different things, you don't take it in. So for me, kind of looking back at him crying, it wasn't just about losing the game, because at the end of the day, he hasn't really lost much of anything. He's won before. They won the last World Cup. He's won in life. He's got millions and millions of dollars, millions and millions of followers. He will be fine, okay? But maybe for him, it's sort of like, this is the end of my career. This is my last World Cup. And he played a hell of a game during the World Cup. But anyway. And he's playing against people that are quite younger than he is, too. So, and I noticed that with him, because when you watch him play the game, he wasn't running up and down that field like everybody else. He was sort of like playing it off to the side so he could come in and get the goal, basically. There was a very calculated strategy that I felt like people weren't paying attention to. Spain was, though. Spain was not trying to let him get a goal. They were like all over it. They were all over him. They were like, you ain't getting a goal, Messi. Just saying, don't be messy. Don't be messy. All right, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like today's video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Don't forget, we have our live show returning to New York City on September 25th at the Green Room 42. It's a night of spilling all kinds of tea, so I'm excited about that. There's so many stories that I want to share, specifically when it comes to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City that I've heard. So I do find it interesting. You guys told me when I was live that there was breaking news that apparently Angie K and her husband have separated. Well, now it appears that TMZ is confirming the news. They said Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Angie Casanovas, that's not even her married name, and Sean Trujillo are throwing in the towel on their marriage. They've been married for like 30 years. Okay, I think people are surprised because of all the marriages that would have come to an end. They're probably think that this would be the one that wouldn't be the first one that would come to mind. So they said, according to Page Six, multiple sources say that Angie and Sean have separated after 27 years of being husband and wife. Some social media accounts are claiming infidelity is to blame, but TMZ has learned that that's not true. I don't think I would have thought that would be true, because remember, they've counteracted infidelity claims in the last couple of years of Angie being on this show. A source with direct knowledge tells them, Angie, reports that there was an affair have no merit. It's unclear when Angie and Sean separated, but it's worth noting Angie didn't celebrate their anniversary on Instagram last month. Contrast that with 2025 when Angie had a lot to say about their anniversary. Their pictures from when they were together, they've been together a long time. When Sean had hair, like he is a cat daddy. Like his hair was flowing. Remember, they're in the hair business. Both of them have really beautiful, luscious hair. But these throwbacks of them, first of all, people don't talk about Angie's a beautiful woman. He's a beautiful man. Was he losing his hair? Because he used to have a whole lot of hair. He's a good-looking guy, though. He's definitely a good-looking guy. Anyway, back to this. Last year, she posted this whole thing. She said, a hair affair, 26 years. Seems like yesterday I booked an appointment for a blow dry with this dreamy guy I saw on the cover of a romance novel in the grocery store checkout. Long hair like Fabio, big muscles, and known to be lethal with scissors. The rest is hair story. So she wrote all of that on social media last year. Season 7 of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City taped earlier this year. Production wrapped in May. Oh my gosh. That's about what? Oh, it's not that long ago, 2 months ago. So it will be interesting to see if the couple split will play out on camera. During the show's 4th season, Angie had to deal with the rumors that Sean was cheating on her with multiple men. I know. And not too long ago, people noticed that Sean started following divorce coaches on IG. Oh, Lord. I didn't even hear that. Sean told Reality Shrine it didn't have anything to do with his relationship with Angie, claiming that he was simply trying to help out a loved one going through a tough time. Angie and Sean tied the knot back in 1999. They have a 15-year-old daughter, Electra. The reason why I'm going to say this is because I've heard how the season goes for Angie. And I will spill this now. I've heard the season does not go well for Angie at all. And you may have heard this from other places, but I'm telling you, I've heard from very good sources. The season doesn't go well for Angie. I don't like when people play with their marriages for reality television. And I'm not saying that this can't be true because, look, 30 years together, people grow apart. You've been on reality TV for a long time. That can affect your marriage as well. But part of me wonders if this is just a distraction so that people will feel sorry for Angie because she's going to have a bad season. From what I've heard, it's not going to be a good season for Angie. It's not. It's going to be bad. So when I saw this news, I said, wait, is this just a way to get sympathy from the fans because of how bad the season is going to be for her? And from what I've heard, look, bud. Okay? That's all I can say right now. So we're going to continue to follow this story. I wish her the best. I wish them both the best, being together for such a long time. And they do have a young daughter, so I wonder if this will be part of her storyline. Speaking of breakups, well, you remember Kiarna, right? You don't? Damn, Kiarna. Kiarna from Real Housewives of Potomac. That one. Well, people are saying that Kiarna and her on-again, off-again beau, Greg, apparently they're saying that maybe possibly, not Cha-Cha. I'm trying to find the picture. What did I do with the picture with Kiarna? I know I uploaded it, but let me upload it again because it's right over here. All right, let me move this over. So she posted this video. I guess she's on vacation with Greg. You remember I really thought during the season of Potomac that we would get an engagement. Maybe at the reunion we would get it. We did not even get an engagement at the reunion. What we got was a picture frame. I show you the picture frame, but I've deleted that from my system. The same way the same way that Bravo deleted her contract. So you see her show off an engagement ring in this video. It must be so sad to beg for this ring and you finally get it and no one even cares. And all you could do is be like, oh, I'm engaged. I'm sorry, Kiarna. I wish you better for you. I really do. Because just the way we see your relationship play out, and again, we're watching an edited show, basically you had to beg for this engagement. I would never want to beg for anything. Hence why I also did not want to see her engaged that last season, because it was like, damn, it would be like you had to beg him for it. But he played all these games in order for you to finally get the ring from him. Kiana, you're too beautiful, too successful to deal with any of this. And the last we heard, Miss Esquire was calling following the litigation that was going on between Greg, allegedly, and his ex-wife, and what was going on over there when it comes to not spousal support, but child support. Okay, I wonder which engagement ring this was. It definitely doesn't look like the one that she was looking at that was like $100,000. But Kiana might be engaged, y'all. Congratulations, happy birthday. I don't know. Congratulations, happy birthday to her. Right? Right. Look, right.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace.
Last year, I went through many different life changes. I needed to take a pause and examine how I was feeling in the inside to better show up for the ones who need me to be my best version of myself.
When you're navigating life's changes, Talkspace can help. Talkspace is the #1 rated online therapy, bringing you professional support from licensed therapists and psychiatry providers that you can access anytime, anywhere.
Living a busy life, navigating a long-distance relationship, becoming a first-step father, Talkspace made all of those journeys possible. I could speak with my therapist in the office. I could speak with my therapist in the comfort of my home. I was never alone.
Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance, no problem. Now get $80 off your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Speaking of, damn, we have a lot of divorces to talk about. You remember Britt Eady? I usually don't report on Britt Eady because for me, she's such a non-factor. She's a one-season wonder. But I will report on it just because we're talking about Bravo and everything that's going on over there at Bravo. So shout out to our friends at Baddies TV well, the girls are fighting on Instagram, but Baddies TV on X. They report this. Real Housewives of alum Britt Eady accuses estranged husband Michael Cunningham. You remember her? Michael Cunningham of financial and emotional abuse amid divorce battle. So you guys probably don't even realize this because we didn't cover it, or we may have talked about it a little bit. But they're getting a divorce. Yeah. Former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Britt Eady is facing a difficult new chapter as her divorce from estranged husband Michael Cunningham continues to unfold. According to court documents obtained by Us Weekly, Eady has accused Cunningham of, quote, financial and emotional abuse during their ongoing divorce proceedings. The reality star filed a motion in June alleging that Cunningham stopped consistently paying several expenses they had previously been covered during their marriage, including the mortgage on their Atlanta area home, her monthly car payment, her car insurance, homeowners association fees, and household utilities. I don't know the timing of what this is. I don't know if she's expecting him to continue to pay it after she's filed for divorce. I don't know the context here. So Eady, who's 38, claimed in the filing that she is currently unemployed and financially dependent on Cunningham. Oh, so she's expecting him to pay that now. Oh. Who she alleges earns approximately $30,000 per month as an investor and developer. Cunningham has been the breadwinner during the marriage, the document states, adding that Eady claims that she has relied on him for financial support and maintenance. The former couple married in 2021 and later purchased a home together. Eady alleged that while the mortgage was in her name, Cunningham had traditionally handled the payments throughout their marriage. She claims that after she filed for divorce in January, the payments became delayed, which she says negatively impacted her credit and created additional hardship. And I know what you're thinking, like, well, you filed for divorce, you shouldn't have to pay. Well, I don't know if that's what the law is going to say. The Bravo alum also alleged that Cunningham's actions were an attempt to gain leverage in their divorce proceedings. These claims have been made in court documents and have not been independently verified. Eady previously announced that the couple's separation is in a since-deleted social media post at the end of 2025, sharing that she was ready to prioritize her happiness and move into a new chapter of her life. The former couple have been ordered to attend mediation by June 31st as they continue working through their divorce proceedings. She's also suing Bravo, okay? claiming that, all kinds of things in regards to the workplace. You already know in regards to what Kenya did during filming of season 16. It's gotta suck that you're divorcing, and you're like all this legal stuff that she's dealing with right now. It's gotta suck, but you created all this, right? Okay. All right. So that's the update on Britt Eady and her divorce. Okay. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, let me give you an update on another story that we talked about that was Real Housewives of Atlanta related, because you remember we reported to you that Kelly Farrell, well, formerly Farrell, now Kelly Potter, had a default judgment against her for like $200,000. We did a full report on this. Her Nana's Chicken and Waffles and her were found to have to pay this to this other company. Well, her ex-husband has released a statement saying that he has nothing to do with this, despite Kelly saying that this stems from her divorce. So the girls are fighting. They remind us that Mark Farrell issued a statement as ARF Financial moves to seize Kelly Potter's bank accounts over $217,000 Nana Chicken and Waffles debt. Mark Farrell, Potter's ex-husband, is pushing back against suggestions that he bears any legal responsibility for Kelly's $217,000 debt. So his rep says in a statement, recent coverage of Miss Kelly Potter's outstanding debt to ARF Financial has implied that her ex-husband, Mr. Mark Farrell, bears responsibility for the judgment entered against her and Nana's Chicken and Waffles LLC. The record does not support that claim. The ARF Financial judgment is one of several civil matters currently on public record involving Ms. Potter and her business interests, none of which name Mr. Farrell as a party. We encourage outlets covering this story to consult the applicable county civil dockets before assigning responsibility. ARF Financial sued Potter and Nana's Chicken and Waffles in 2025 over an unpaid business debt. After Potter failed to respond, the court entered a default judgment of $217,301, plus accruing interest. The creditor has since subpoenaed several banks to locate assets. So, and that's coming from the Jasmine brand in regards to this update. Ew, that's a mess. That's a mess, Kelly. That's a mess. And you too busy over here doing other things. I can't even help her in this particular situation. Today is brought to you by our friends over at MyFitnessPal. Another quick MyFitnessPal moment. Logging your food is one thing, but here's something I didn't expect. After a while, MyFitnessPal Premium actually starts showing you patterns. Not just today, not just one meal, but it's actually showing you patterns of your eating habits. And that's where it got real for me, because it started showing me things that I didn't even realize. How my weekends completely fell apart versus my weekdays. Or on days when I actually hit my protein goals, that I actually felt really, really good versus other days where I didn't hit my protein goals. I wasn't guessing anymore. I could actually see it in the MyFitnessPal app. And once you can see a pattern, that's when you can actually change it. And that's the difference of tracking versus understanding what you're tracking. Because as I keep reminding you, your nutrition is the foundation everything runs on. Your energy, your sleep, your recovery. And the insights are what connects the dots. Go to podcast.myfitnesspal.com and use code KEMPIRE, all uppercase, for 15% off MyFitnessPal Premium. Thanks, MyFitnessPal. Support from today's episode comes from Square, the business platform that helps sellers become neighborhood favorites. Whether you're gearing up for a busy season or just trying to keep up with the everyday demand, Square keeps your business running smoothly, from payments and POS to online orders, inventory, staff, and more, all in one place so that you can focus on your customers, not your to-do list. Ready to grow or streamline how you run things? Square is offering listeners up to $200 off Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/Kempire. Again, SQUARE.com/go/Kempire. Start with Square and build a setup that grows with your business. You know, I'm all about the little details that make an experience feel elevated. And one of the things that I noticed recently at my chiropractor's office, they provide a bunch of different things, including Pilates, including massage. I noticed that they use Square. I noticed how seamless it made my checking out experience with them every week. Tap, done, and the receipt's already in my email inbox before I even put my wallet away. That's Square running quietly in the background, building the Kempire as an actual business, not just a YouTube channel. I get why that matters. When the tech behind the counter just works, the owner gets to focus on the customer instead of troubleshooting a card reader. Square puts payments, POS, and inventory and staffing all in one system. So a business owner isn't juggling 5 different apps just to open for the day. And they've made pricing simple too. 3 clear plans, free, plus, and premium. So you pay for what you actually need, no hidden fees or surprise upcharges. Square helps you run your business more smoothly, bringing payments, operations, and insights together in one place, so you're ready for whatever's next. Right now, listeners can get up to $200 off Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/Kempire. That's SQUARE.com/go/Kempire. Get started with Square and build a setup that works the way you do. Shout out to our sponsors, guys. More information on our sponsors will be available in the description. Welcome back to Tuesday Takeover. It is pre-recorded, so bear with me, y'all. Look, sometimes things are busy these next couple of weeks. It's also the summer. Just a lot of things happening. I wish I was going on vacation. I'm not. I just have a lot of work to do and a lot of things to take care of, so I appreciate you bearing with me. Do not forget, you can support the channel just by liking today's video. You can also support the channel by supporting some of our charitable causes. We're still raising money for the LGBT Center. Our goal was $10,000 for Pride Month. We did not reach it. Very disappointing. Disappointed in you. Just saying. Thank you to everyone that has donated. So I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that watch our content all the time and couldn't share a video, couldn't ask other friends and family to donate a couple of dollars. 100% of your donation goes to the organization. Just saying. Thank you to everyone that's already donated. We appreciate you. Okay? Donate. You will see the links for our donations anywhere on any of our videos. Okay, so be sure to donate. All right, Katie Janela. We don't talk about her a lot here, but I see so many of the clips and videos of her constantly talking about Real Housewives of Orange County. Speaking of Real Housewives of Orange County, I have not watched episode 2 yet. I did watch the premiere episode. If you follow me on socials, I said it was pretty much of the same. So that's probably part of the reason why I wasn't enticed to watch episode 2. The ratings for episode 2, I think it was like 500 something thousand. That's not saying to me that it's not being successful because, again, we're seeing that dip across the board when it comes to all of the cities, okay? Including Real Housewives of Atlanta. But Katie Janela, you know, we talked about her when we did recap Real Housewives of Orange County. We talked about her past that was kind of questionable and told us a lot about her character. We also talked about how she was constantly talking to bloggers, which is funny because now she has her own podcast. I guess Bravo's Most Wanted. I've seen so many clips on social media, and look, there's a part of the Bravo universe that's like, justice for Katie. Katie was so fantastic on the show. They need to bring her back. She wasn't fantastic on the show. I don't care what anyone says. She wasn't. And the reason why she decided to block me is because I think she saw that I was one of those bloggers you couldn't sugarcoat things with. You saw that I wouldn't fall for the okie doke with you. You saw that I saw right through you, because other than that, I don't understand why you would block me. Because it's not like I'm in your comment section. It's not like I'm doing special videos on you. You blocked me because you probably knew I pulled your card. I saw you for who you really are. And now it seems like the Bravo universe is starting to see Katie for who she really is. Because they're like, damn, she's always talking about this show. She's done da. Well, now Katie on this podcast is saying that, a blogger reached out to me and said, Bravo removed all of your episodes from season 19. And thank God I checked, and people checked in the comments, because everyone's like, no, she didn't. No, they didn't. Your episodes are still there. All 23 episodes of season 19 are still there. But take a listen to what she had to say on this podcast. We're going to do this on the fair
Then
use.
I'm looking at my phone. I get a DM from a blogger. And
Shocker.
She was like, hey,
Shocker. She's talking to bloggers still.
just to let you know, they scrubbed all of your episodes from season 19. And he said it must have...
It should be noted she doesn't have a lot of episodes from season 19.
Because I just pulled clips from it a few days ago. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I went to Peacock. Every episode is gone. The only thing that's left, it's on my TV right now, is 3 Watch What Happens lives from it. And it's Gretchen, Tamra, and Heather. That's all they...
Unless there was a glitch, a moment, because Peacock can be very glitchy. I will say that because they still, every once in a while, will show the very old cover for Real Housewives of Atlanta that includes Nene. So maybe it was a glitch, but everyone that has gone to check since hearing this are saying, like, no, we see you. Look, you're still there.
Left from season 19. And I'm like, and every single other season, full episodes. It's just season 19. And I'm like, they just tried to scrub me, I think, because of the bad press they're getting for allowing the bullying and the racism, I think.
That's exactly what I think is happening. And Katie, this totally tracked.
Then I...
No. Because there's so many other people that they get so much. Look at Potomac. The amount of colorism that was talked about and bullying and things like that. They didn't scrub anything. They left it all in. Here's the thing. I think because the Bravo universe really does not like some of the women on Real Housewives of Orange County, and that's why they're so pro Katie. And I'm not saying that Katie's experience wasn't, there wasn't any racism. I'm never going to take away from her experience because I don't know. And I do believe that Shannon Beador plays one way. Oh, speaking of which, one of the former producers, Patrick McDonald, who was blasting Bravo when he stopped working with them, he also talked about Shannon Beador in the comment section on social media and said, and basically said that, she presents one way for the camera, but behind the scenes, she's like a nightmare. I'm paraphrasing. That's not his exact quote. And I'm like, I believe it. We've talked about it. I mean, we're not talking about Orange County this season, but we've talked about it. But I heard from all of you that watched episode 2 for season 20, you're all like, it's all the same. It's boring. I'm not watching it. So I'm not recapping it. It's never been my city. I haven't watched that city chapter and verse. I started during the pandemic with you guys, and I started recapping it because of you guys. But I was like, I'm not invested in coming into the season to continue that and talk about Orange County anymore. But I do find it interesting that a lot of you are coming around like, damn, she's always talking about this show. She's always, constantly talking about this show. Like, do you have nothing else going on? Now you're on a podcast and blah, blah, blah. Look, I don't know if the full Bravo universe has caught up to where I've been when it comes to Katie Janela and seeing through the facade that she likes to present. But fine. Look, because I think 2 things can be true. And I know you guys sometimes hate when people say that, but 2 things can be true. The women of Orange County can be problematic in a whole lot of ways, but Katie probably fits right in with them. But the fact that she wasn't included, now she's like, you kicked me out. Please understand, if they had renewed her contract, she would have returned. But I think she would have been the downfall of that show too, because I think she would have continued talking to bloggers and making friends with bloggers and blah, blah, and using the bloggers against the women. And you guys already say you don't like seeing that on these shows. So she needed to hightail it up out of there. Okay? All right. Where do I want to go from here when it comes to, let's talk about some pop culture news. First of all, Maduka Okoye, the Nigerian goalie, who has been, because of the World Cup, was thrown into the spotlight because he's so handsome and so good looking. That's the thing with me. I can look at someone like handsome. Probably, is he like a terrible human being? I'm not saying that he is, but I'm saying, could he be? Yes. However, it seems as if one of his former girlfriends, baby mama, is blasting him because he was recently photographed with Cardi B during Paris Fashion Week. It should be noted that they have the same stylist, so I'm not surprised that they were introduced. Well, apparently they were in Italy and photographed having dinner together. Cardi B is single, I think. Is she still with Stefan? I know Stefan's dealing with his own stuff. And I saw that Cardi B recently spoke out about Stefan stuff, basically saying that, I don't want to paraphrase what she said. I can't play you the audio because, Cardi B loves a cuss word. But I saw the accuser, Stefan Diggs' accuser, said, my relationship with him, not relationship. I don't know if he said it exactly like that. Because I did see his interview with TMZ's Paparazzi. But he basically says that, my relationship with him, my situation with him predates your relationship with him. Cardi, this is the downside of having a baby with someone that you probably wouldn't have had, someone that you would not want to be around for the rest of your life. But unfortunately, now you have a child with this man and you have to co-parent with this man and he will forever be in your life, which is the downside of having a baby with someone that you probably didn't do your due diligence on who he is, because there's so many accusations against this man. He had I think at least 2 babies last year around the same time. Might be 3. I think it might be 3. You guys will correct me in the comments. It might be 3. But here we are. Look, here we are. So the baby mama, according to TMZ, they said Dutch model Jalicia Westhoff made explosive allegations about the goalie, accusing him of abuse and neglecting their young child because he's too busy getting laid with women and men. What? So we have a chance. Guys. Play. Not men. So on the Instagram story, she says, imagine I shut my effing mouth, lied about what you did to me so that you could continue your career, and all you do is effing embarrass us. You make me look like I'm a bitter baby mother when I helped you when no one was there for you. I made you. Oh, not I made you. She says, no one knew who you was, and instead of loving us, you beated me? That's what she said. Cheated on me with men and women. You're an effing demon who tried to destroy my life. You don't take care of your one and only son. Because I don't want to be with you, I will never forgive you. Being nice and peaceful brings you nowhere. You're a rat, and I wish I was just like you, but I tried for my son to be a good co-parent, to erase your wrongdoings because you made me believe that I was the problem. Well, damn. Then she said, you don't call your son, you don't see your son because you're too busy punishing his mother and being a baddie on social media. Not a baddie on social media. And now that because of the World Cup, even though he didn't make it to the World Cup, but because he started going viral as this sexy player, I'm sure all kinds of women are throwing themselves at him, and men. Your son that you wanted so badly when you were still broke and I had to give you money. Ooh, child. She wasn't done. She then says, I was so scared to take you to court, so scared to press charges, so scared to do anything because I knew you would punish our child. But you know what? I've been calm. I gave you 100,000 chances. And do you care of him? No. Do you take care of him? No. Because you have to see him in my house. Otherwise, you can't be a father. You manipulative F. Well, damn. She wasn't done. She says, I crashed my car. What I buyed with my money. You wanted to give a birthday for our child. I can't, when the English, but I'm sure English is not her first language, but the grammar here is terrible. She said, you was cheating on me with everything. When I just gave birth to our baby and I still chose to wipe your butt because you just had an operation and no one of your people looked out for you because you wasn't even playing. You wasn't even on the couch. You would cry your eyes out. I motivated you, cooked for you. I did everything what a woman could do for you because I loved you until I found out that you liked both sides. Well, damn. What you even admitted to me. You're so openly with who you're dating and speaking to. Let's also be open open about your sexuality. Well, damn. She had quite a few things to say, and I think she probably had a few things to say because this came right after Cardi B and he were were filmed out and about. I saw that Cardi B was reacting to the footage coming out, basically saying she understands Britney Spears. My interpretation of that, and this is just an interpretation, my interpretation of her saying that is the fact that she feels like she understands the public scrutiny of always being in the spotlight will drive someone mentally insane. And we already know for her, I've always said to Cardi B, the downfall of Cardi B is the fact that she pays attention to social media way too much, but everyone's different. I can't tell her how to react, but I'm telling you, deleting social media, not paying attention to social media and just living your life would probably do you some good. Would probably definitely do you some good. Okay? According to TMZ, it says it's not clear if Cardi B snaps triggered Westhoff, but she had daggers for Maduka saying that I made you, no one knew who you was, and instead of loving us, you beat me, cheated on me with men and women, you effing demon who tried to destroy my life. Westhoff added that there's nothing wrong with being bi. She's more upset that he's allegedly been MIA in their child's life while he's out partying. Westhoff did not provide any other evidence on social media to back up her claims. We've reached out to Maduka about the claims, but have not heard back. What do you want him to say? It's true? I mean, if anything, it's best not to say anything. For those that don't know who I'm talking about, I forgot to show you the photo of the man. So first of all, she's gorgeous, but he's also good looking too. Good looking people, but that's the one thing. Look, we love a good looking person here on the channel. However, what I've come to understand, just because you're good looking, first of all, doesn't mean that you're a good person. Doesn't mean that you're good in bed. You know, sometimes when you're so good looking, you feel like you could just lay there. Can we talk? I know this is not Kempire After Dark. We can talk more about it on Kempire After Dark. But you hear what I'm saying? So maybe, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but yeah. Maduka Okoye, good looking, but probably problematic. I'm not shocked. Anyone else? I'm sure the folks in Nigeria could probably tell us some stories about Maduka, right? Tell. Look, tell us. We want to know. Look, we want to know. All right. What else? Okay, let's see. Where else did I want to go with some of these stories? Oh, let me play for you what... So, we recapped Real Housewives of Atlanta yesterday. So if you missed our recap, be sure to check that out. Mods, if we can just post a link to remind people of what they may have missed. You can also hear it along like our Tuesday Takeover and special episodes can be heard on the Kempire podcast. Okay? So... a lot of things have been playing out. We did talk yesterday about K. Michelle blasting Shamea for what she had to say about her on Watch What Happens Live. I'll remind you what Shamea said about K. Michelle. That's what she said.
Hey, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Just stay the course. You ain't got to jump ship or choose teams. You can be everybody's friend, girl. All right.
Okay. K. Michelle saw this and said, Shamea Morton, don't play coward games now. You ain't gonna shift the narrative on me. Your third time trying and speaking on me. You scared about what I might tell. Tell him why I don't mess with you. Does the Waldorf ring a bell? Okay. I'm loyal until I'm not. And look, Shamea has said that the Waldorf is one of her spots, and she invited Angela there. We also heard that Porsha and Simon used to love to hang out at the Waldorf. Okay. So God only knows what K. Michelle may have witnessed. And here's the thing, just based off of Shamea being friends with like a Candy and knowing the history with K. Michelle, I don't know why you would do or say anything in front of K. Michelle, but that's me. Okay. So K. Michelle says, does the Waldorf ring a bell? I'm loyal until I'm not. See, you can't play fake victim with me. I know too much. Chill. She then says, K. Michelle continues and says, definitely no advice needed from you on being a friend. Me not messing with you has nothing to do with jumping ship. And you know this. I have the same friends I've had all season. Not all season. The difference now is that I don't have to sit around and defend you all day. Dead that narrative now about teams because you know that's not what's happening. Here's the thing. Shamea, don't come back next season. But Shamea wants to be famous so bad, I wouldn't be shocked that she's going to come back. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, Bravo's not going to bring her back. She's not likable. People are not liking. No, they're going to bring her back. Because they're like, if you're going to put up with the BS, we can make a lot of money and entertainment off the BS. But now everybody's against Shamea. Pinky was already kind of throwing her under the bus. K. Michelle's no longer friends with her. So all you have is Kelly. And Kelly might not even come back next season. So then what? Oh, they're going to bring Candy back? Candy was already on social media saying, what should be my tagline? So everyone thinks, wait, is Candy going to come back next season? Candy, don't come back next season. First of all, I think Candy stayed way past the time that she should have on the show. You've gone on to do so many other amazing things. If you want people in the industry to take you seriously, there should be an elevation, not a going back. And I know you're about your money, and I know they will pay you a good amount of money. But this is why I also don't like Riley on Next Gen NYC. Yes, Riley will stunt on those people in Next Gen NYC, like with her Birkins and things like that. And I love that for her. But at the same time, now they're trying to make her out to be the angry black woman who's a drinker. Riley is 20-something years old. This is not the life that I was living because I just never been a drinker. I always say in the past life I must have been a lush because in this life I don't have a taste for drinking like that or drugging. But the way they're trying to make her out to be like she has a problem with alcohol, she's 20-something years old. I'm not going to say that she has a problem with drinking. All right, I digressed. K. Michelle continues in her tweet saying reunion needs to hurry up. According to Phaedra, K. Michelle had a good reunion. We will be the judge of that. But according to Phaedra, she had a good reunion. We shall see. All right, since we're talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, I want to talk about what Cynthia Bailey and Crystal Kung Minkoff on their podcast, Humble Brag, had to say about the mamas. So Cynthia is revealing her thoughts about how this is all playing out and how she feels about the conversations around the moms. Hold on. Let me just mute that.
And a housewife of Atlanta for many, many years, and you've been a part of historically, awful.
I've seen a lot.
You've seen a lot. Do you think that they can resolve this?
I don't think so. Honestly, I just think it just crossed a line.
Kids and mom too far.
I just think it just crossed the line.
Yeah.
Like, I think, when I'm asked questions like this, I always put myself in the position, like, what would I do if it was happening to me? I don't know.
The line was crossed. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, how would you feel if this was your mom?
Monday, AI agents took over my work. And I absolutely love it. Chasing deadlines, writing status reports, updating stakeholders. Agents handle the daily grind now. They live inside Monday.com, so they see the full picture. My work, my team, the whole company. And I don't have to worry about the data. It's safe, which means I'm free to focus on the big stuff, knowing everything runs smoothly in the background. It's completely shifted the way we work. Create your own AI agent in minutes on Monday.com.
If your mom was a part of a conversation like this,
I'd be part of a murder story.
What?
Like, don't fucking touch my mom.
Yeah.
My family. Like, that's where, me. I'm
Yeah.
like, don't cross that line because I won't cross that with you.
Yeah.
Like, I won't do that. Like, I know so much. That's where I don't go.
Yeah.
The family is like really important. Even when I make mistakes about family, that is not my thing.
Yeah.
Because as we said, not only did they not sign up for it, but like, you put that out that's forever.
Yeah.
And no one deserves that.
The thing is, like on shows like this, whatever's out there, whether it's true or not,
it's out
the
there.
information is still out there.
Correct.
And it just lives out there. And that's the unfortunate part of the whole
Correct.
conversation.
No, I could not go backwards.
Yeah.
So I guess it's really about how you guys said in the beginning of the beginning of filming was like, you knew they had issues, but they were like keeping it at bay.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the best you can hope for in the future for them.
Yeah.
Sounds like what it is.
Yeah. And also, I really, really try to be like, when I'm friends with someone and I know things that I'm privy to information that I learned in that friendship. Once we stop being friends, I really like to protect that. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, well, now that we're not friends anymore, let me just air this bitch out. You know what I mean? Like, I am like, and, you know, in the words of reciprocity, hopefully the person would give me that same respect, but I don't want to air my friends out when we're not friends anymore.
Okay. All right. So that's what Cynthia had to say. And look, Cynthia can't win for losing when it comes to talking about this, because everyone's going to say she's just another go naked hair model, Trump supporter. No, not Trump supporter, Porsha supporter. So she's never going to win. But what do you guys think? Do you think that bringing up the mothers is too far? Look, the mothers are on the show. They're grown adults. I understand when we talk about children, because children don't sign up for this show. But one of the things that they said during this podcast was the fact that the children don't sign up for the show, but the parents and the husbands don't sign up for the show. You know, the husbands are not paid for the show, but they're adults. They all agree to film. They all agree that at some particular point, you can be used in a way on this show without your permission. Well, with your permission, because you signed a release. So I feel that it's different because the kids don't sign a release. The minors, you sign the release for them. I'm sure Angela's daughter, because she's of age, signs her own release. But the young kids, they don't sign off on a release. The parents do. So there is a difference when we say don't talk about the children and don't bring the children into it versus bringing adults into it. But I get it. Don't nobody want anyone talking about their mama. But this has been looming since the last season. So I'm not surprised that because this situation has continued to be here, at some particular point, it was going to blow up. I'm surprised it blew up this quickly. I thought maybe later on in the season, maybe next season, it would eventually blow up. Because it seemed as if during the season, these two women really tried to avoid each other. Despite Porsha saying that, like, oh, she felt like they were having a good time in Scotland and she was warming up to Shamea. Based off the edit, I can't say that I feel that way. Based off the edit, it didn't feel like that's what was happening. But that's me. That's me. You guys can let me know if you felt differently in regards to that. But I'm not surprised. I did see that in regards to, Shamea talking about how everyone left and scattered when she came to the club, and everyone came out and said no. You know what I also noticed when rewatching that scene, and Shamea takes the mic and she's singing Never Had Her Single. Of course, K. Michelle was there. You know who was right by K. Michelle during that performance? Phaedra. You remember during the episode, Shamea said that Phaedra left. She said Drew left. Drew did leave. She went to go check on Porsha. She said that Angela left. Angela posted receipts. Like, no, I didn't. I was still there. That's where I noticed that. I was like, oh no, Angela was still there, but Phaedra was also still there. And everyone's like, well, see, this is what we're talking about with Shamea, always making herself the victim, not always telling the truth. This just goes back to what I was saying about Shamea and Porsha being more alike than they are different. Yeah, I think Portia's just able to get away with it because she just has one of those kind of personalities that people like to see on reality television. And I think that's where Shamea is struggling. The fact that she's on this space and people are not loving her. And there are some people that do like her. But, I mean, I would have to look at the actual analytics. I feel like people don't necessarily like her as a reality TV star. They might like her as a person. She might be great as a person. But as a reality TV star, it's not landing. At least it's not landing for me. And I've been saying this. I've been saying this for a while now. And I said, Shamea, I don't think you should come back for another season. And you see, she came back for another season. She's crashed out. She's burned her bridge or any future with Porsha, which I think is okay. They probably should have ended this relationship a while ago. Maybe after the whole wedding fiasco. But here we are. Look, here we are. This episode is sponsored by Ro. Let's bust a myth real quick. Everyone assumes that GLP-1s cost an arm and a leg. That assumption alone stops people from even starting. I've heard it from friends that wanted to take advantage of our code recently. But it's not true. There's a more affordable way than you think. Ro has the lowest cost options out there, insurance or cash. Their insurance checker is free. Submit your card, skip the hold music, skip the confusing phone calls, and in a few days, you get a full report on what's covered. No coverage? No problem. Ro still has lower cost, FDA-approved, cash pay, GLP-1 options, pills included, shipped straight to your door. If I needed this, this is the exact option that I would use. Go to ro.co/Kempire to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/Kempire. Go to ro.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. Thanks, Ro. Slot fans, the wait is over. Lightning Link is available online for the first time ever, and DraftKings Casino has it. DraftKings Casino is your home of a Lightning Link. New casino players can play $5 and get 1,000 spins, including 500 Lightning Link spins. That's 50 spins a day at varying values for your first 20 days. Strike now to claim your offer. Download the DraftKings Casino app and sign up with code KEMPIRE. Then spin Lightning Link high stakes anywhere, anytime. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia only. Void in Canada. Eligibility restrictions apply. Non-withdrawable spins issued as 50 spins per day for 20 days. Valid for select games only and expire each day after 24 hours. Spins values vary. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends August 23rd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome back, guys, to the Kempire's Tuesday Takeover here on the channel. As I said to you guys before, this is pre-recorded. All right, this is pre-recorded. Excuse me. I did want to talk about some 90 Day Fiancé news. As you know, we used to recap and talk about 90 Day Fiancé every single Tuesday Takeover. And Armando and Kenny were a couple that we used to talk about. Let me just remind you. And you remember their daughter. They're still going strong. They're still very much together, these two. And you remember their beautiful daughter that they share. There's such a deep story. I can't remember all the specific details, but the story behind their daughter's mother, who's no longer with us, you remember, we talked about this a while ago. Well, according to TMZ, their daughter is not doing well. They said 90 Day Fiancé stars Armando and Kenny finally have some good medical news to share. Their daughter's out of the hospital after a brain bleed put her in the ICU. The reality stars announced on social media that their 13-year-old daughter, Hannah, had been discharged from a hospital in Arizona days after she had been airlifted there from Mexico. Yeah, they're still living in Mexico. Remember, Kenny moved all the way to Mexico to be with Armando. And Armando's family didn't like the fact that he was gay. It was, I mean, their story was really heartfelt. And I believe they still are within the 90 Day Fiancé family, meaning like they're doing some of the other series and things like that. Armando said, "I'm actually very happy, very just thrilled, and just my heart is so full to let you guys know that Hannah has been released from the hospital, which is the best news we could have right now." Kenny added, "Oh God, we are so over the moon. Hannah's very happy to be leaving the hospital." As you know, Hannah had initially been taken to an ER in Mexico, but ended up getting transferred to a Phoenix hospital for better care. Kenny flew out to be by her side, but Armando was initially turned away at the border. Lord. He managed to cross over the weekend and reunited with his daughter and husband. That's crazy. That's so, but I get it. It's the state of the United States right now. Sidebar: this anti-protester lit up something here in New York City yesterday. I look, Tuesday Takeover is a lot of things, but we're not going to pretend like we're CNN over here. So I don't have all the details, but I did see something about that yesterday. Now, Kenny says that Hannah has gotten leaps and bounds better since her father made it to Arizona, and doctors felt good enough about her progress to send her home with her family to continue her recovery. But Kenny stressed that Hannah's not 100% in the clear. He says that she's on anti-seizure medication and still needs to stay in Phoenix area until at least next month. Wow. When more tests are run. Oh, wow. That's sad. Kenny says that doctors, quote, have no clue how Hannah ended up with the brain bleed. Right now, Hannah's still dealing with some mild blindness, facial drooping, and minor weakness. So she'll be in rehab for the next month. But she must be thrilled to be out of the hospital bed after such a terrifying time. Well, let's continue to pray for Hannah and for her family and Kenny Armando. I haven't talked about them in so long, but I did see that story. And because it's Tuesday Takeover, I said we can definitely cover it and talk about it. Let me get into another story. I wish I had some good news. Lord have mercy. This is why we always start Tuesday Takeover with some good news. We'll end it out with some good news. Okay, we'll end it out with some good news. But before we do that, guys, don't forget the Kempire After Dark live show returns to New York City on September 25th at the Green Room 42. If you haven't gotten your tickets already, be sure to get your tickets. You can you can scan the QR code so you can go check out all your options: in-person tickets, meet and greet tickets. There's also live stream tickets. So even if you can't come to New York City, you can be a part of the show. That's part of the reason why we love working with our friends over at the Green Room 42. Go get your tickets today. All right. Moving on from there, Okay, I just saw this story and I said I'll mention it because this is, Jamaican over here. Miss Universe Jamaica, former contestant, according to TMZ, passed away at the age of 35 years old. LaToya Malcolm, a former Miss Universe Jamaica contestant, is dead, they said. Miss Universe Jamaica announced LaToya's death on social media Saturday, posting, "We mourn the passing of MUJ alumna LaToya Malcolm, who proudly competed in the 2024 Miss Universe Jamaica competition." The statement continued, "Our thoughts and prayers are with her family, friends, and loved ones. Rest peacefully, LaToya. You will never be forgotten." Let me show you a picture. A beautiful woman. Hold on, let me bring this up. If I can find it. Hold on, wait, no. Here's the picture. Sorry about that, y'all. So this was her, only 35 years. I mean, there's a few people that passed away over the weekend that I noticed. I was like, what's going on? So they continue. They said, "Our thoughts and prayers are with her family, friends, and loved ones. Rest peacefully, LaToya. You will never be forgotten." Miss Universe Jamaica didn't elaborate on how she died or when exactly she passed away, but fans were sending love and condolences in the comments. After competing in 2024's Miss Universe Jamaica pageant, LaToya took home the top title in the 2024 Miss Jamaica Bikini International Contest. In addition to being a pageant star, the beauty queen was also a dance instructor, according to the Jamaica Observer. She was 35 years old. Well, my condolences to her friends and family. Very, very sad. 35? That's what I'm saying. I've seen so many people in my life, sister, best friend, just so many people pass away so young in their 20s. So when I see people that pass away so young, it makes you grateful as you get older and you celebrate your own birthdays. You're like, by the grace of God, yes, you have your things in life, things that come up, little ailments and things like that. But you do have to take into account and be very grateful for like when we were just talking about Armando and Kenny. The brain bleed, scary and all well, but let's celebrate the fact that she's out of the ICU. Let's celebrate the fact that she's at home with them. Yes, she has to stay in Arizona for a few more weeks, but she's not in the hospital, and they're all reunited together. So that's you got to look for the positives in life, right? You got to look for the positives in life. So very, very sad news. So sorry to hear that. But we're going to end Tuesday Takeover with some good news. We're going to get back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Again, guys, if you missed our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap yesterday, be sure to check that out on our YouTube channel. You can also hear a cleaned up, edited down version of our recap on the Kempire podcast. One thing that we didn't mention, but we talked a little bit about, was the preview for next week's episode. But we are getting more sneak peeks from episode 16 of season 17 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. As I told you before, the season finale will be on August 2nd, okay? Shout out to our friends at OMFG Reality TV. I'm going to play a quick clip. I'm going to have to stop and go because you know how Bravo is. But we get to finally meet Kelly's Jarvis. You know, the one that she's been talking about? That's not his real name. She also says and claims that he paid the $70-something thousand for her new teeth. And apparently, Shamea is the one that introduced them. So I'm going to play you this clip. I also want to talk to you about George. You remember George, the one allegedly Shamea had the affair with?
I want you to be a flirt.
So there's some sort of party where they're all dressed up in costume. I just wanted to let you guys know that Jarvis arrives at this event with a big old mask on. Okay?
This is Jarvis. Hey, tell him to see his hair.
This is why people get so frustrated with Shamea. It's like everybody's her bestie. Finally, she's definitely your bestie because she's the only one claiming you on this show right now.
I'm glad I saw Jarvis off camera, honey, because I know he is really a person. He's a very attractive guy.
Phaedra.
But I don't know why he doesn't want to be seen now. Maybe he's hiding from the creditors, honey, or her ex-husband.
What's under that mask, Jarvis? Is this the married man? You have a past. You know what you do. What you talking about? Oh, we're married men.
They flash back to what Porsha accused Kelly of being with the married pastor.
Yeah. He's not hiding his face. I am. It's not just because of the ladies, but because of my other situation with my ex. I want to protect the person.
What does that have to do with your ex? Your ex is your ex. Yes, I know he doesn't make this divorce situation easy, but what does that have to do? I'm gonna keep playing this clip, and I'm just gonna show you, for those that are listening to the podcast, this is why sometimes you gotta watch both. I'm just gonna show you Kelly's legs in the air, okay? As I play the clip.
And that I'm truly dating and in love with, who happens not to be married.
So Ashley, you remember George's wife? Remember her? She makes an appearance on this season. Probably Shamea invited her, probably.
Ashley is George's wife.
I guess that's all they were going to give us for this week's episode. But that was a perfect segue for us to talk about George. Because George posted on social media, if you saw the preview for next week's episode, then you saw that George is seen in next week's episode. And you overhear someone say, so does this vindicate Angela? Because remember, Angela accused George and Shamea of sleeping together. Okay? And it didn't appear like Angela was vindicated, and Angela said on social media, just wait, there will come a time where I am believed. I don't know, but I already told you based off of the preview that we saw of George's reality show that he filmed himself and it's on YouTube or something like that. We already showed you that. When he said, I was in the hot pursuit of a prostitute, referring to his wife, I said, well, maybe this is what Angela got mixed up with him, because George has a way of speaking. Well, George was on social media, y'all, and posted a clip of him being featured on the show. Look, these two, between his wife and between George, they just want to be on reality television. You shot a whole reality TV show. You guys are loving being on this show. So George posted on his Instagram story, stay tuned to RHOA next Sunday at Crash to Cash GA. Injured DM, get paid, the truth revealed. He had to include the promotion. You are the last person I would call for personal injury. You are thirsty to be famous. You are the last person I would call. But that's me. You already know how Atlanta can be, so y'all probably will use him down there in Atlanta. But me personally, I wouldn't. He said, stay tuned to RHOA next week. Insert commercial. Crash to Cash GA. Injured DM. Get paid. And then he says, the truth revealed. We shall see. We shall see if the truth is revealed. But maybe his truth is that he slept with Shamea. I don't know. But the voiceover of what we saw, and again, I'm saying voiceover because we don't know when and where it was actually said. Someone says that it seems as if Angela is vindicated. I will wait and see to tell you whether or not I think that this vindicates Angela. I don't know if it will, but you just never know. Week to week, you just never know with these folks. OMG. How did you guys feel about this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta? I know I asked this a little bit yesterday, but look, it is what it is. It is what it is. It wasn't a terrible season, but it wasn't an amazing season. I don't think I want to spend next season talking about Porsha and Shamea. I'm already a little drained by the end because there's so much that we can't get into because of the mothers. Unless the mothers are going to have a sit down next season, I'm kind of like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. But is what it is, right? Right. All right, y'all. I'm going to wrap it up for now when it comes to Tuesday Takeover. I told you it was going to be a mini Tuesday Takeover. There's probably a lot of stories that happened since I recorded this, but y'all will be strong. I will get back to you. I got things I need to do today. The weather is supposedly supposed to be very sucky on Tuesday, so just got to deal with it, right? All right, y'all. Be safe. I will see you all in the next one. Do not forget to like this video. Shout out to our King Scar. Shout out to our channel members. Shout out to our subscribers. We appreciate you guys being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. Don't forget to get your tickets. And be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching Tuesday Takeover. Bye, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.